you may be aware, I'm a bit of a Sega Master System fan. If you haven't seen my old videos though, then this wall of Master System stuff behind me might be a bit of a giveaway. So, after however many years on YouTube and however many videos, I figured it's time to do something to kind of celebrate the Master System a bit. And what better way to celebrate something on YouTube than by making a list? Everyone loves lists! But, with that said, one rule. One game per franchise. Anything else pretty much goes. We're talking any region, but just one game per franchise. That's going to impact things, but yeah. So, we have the whole issue though of lists. So before we get on with it, this is my list. It's my personal preference. So it's basically my top 20 Master System games. You ask me this again in another day, another week, whatever, it could even be different. There's going to be games not on this list that maybe some people think should be, and there's games that are going to be higher or lower than people should be. But at the end of the day, it's just a bit of fun. So relax. With that said, let's get on with it. What better way to start this list than with a game that defines why Sega did what Nintendo didn't back in the 90s? And of course, it's Mortal Kombat. Now, more famous for the Mega Drive / Genesis where the blood was cut out. Acclaim also did produce a port on the Sega Master System, and they did a good job, which is kind of surprising. Mortal Kombat should not really work on an 8-bit system the way it does, but the Master System, while cut down in terms of graphics and sound, pretty much has the core mechanics and most of the characters, most of Mortal Kombat is all there. So, even if you were left in 1993 or so, on Sega's 8-bit, you were still being looked after, and you were getting good games. It's no slouch, and it really shows the power of the Master System. So, at the opposite end of the scale to Mortal Kombat, we have My Hero. Now, before you click off, hear me out. My Hero was a budget game for the Sega Master System, not meant to be one of the top range games. It came out on the Sega card, so very small file size, 32K, smaller than like an email, pretty much. And it packs a hell of a lot of entertainment into such a small package, and I find it strangely addictive. It's basically a scrolling beater of the kind of kung fu style genre. Is it the best game? No. Is it going to be on most people's lists? Good God, no. But I like it, so in it goes at 19. Most people would think of the NES when you consider Ninja Gaiden. After all, the trilogy on the NES made the series famous. But the Master System wasn't to be left out. Well, not in Europe at least. And Ninja Gaiden was ported over, albeit pretty much as a new game, so I'm not too sure if it's a port or just same game, same name, different game. But it's a good game. Really, really solid. Great graphics, good sound, good presentation. It is Ninja Gaiden. It is exactly what you would expect. And anyone who's a fan of the series definitely needs to check it out. Of course, the difficulty is left in check too. Wouldn't want it any other way. So here we have another entry that's basically a 16-bit port. Seems a bit of a team at this stage. What can you say about Road Rash? EA knocked it out of the park back when they weren't evil. And their Master System port is bloody good. It has the same undulating road, all the bikers, great graphics. Like, you look at this, you actually start to wonder, is that an 8-bit system? It's good. And it plays really well too. Good pace, just fun game. The only thing it's missing is the simultaneous 2-player mode. It's basically a switch on off for 2-player. But other than that, it's a top port, and I'll say it before, I'll say it again. It really demonstrates what the Master System is capable of, especially late on in its life system. Sadly, it was European only again. We're going to see a bit of that, I think, on this list too. Anyway, that's Road Rash for the Master System. So, Power Strike. Now here's one of those games that might appear higher up on a number of Master System aficionados lists. It's probably the best shoot 'em up or bullet hell almost shooter on the system, and the Master System isn't overburdened with space shooting, which is kind of surprising for the 80s. But Power Strike is definitely up there. Like, the speed, the amount of projectiles on screen, it's quite remarkable. Certainly on a technical level, it seems to throw sprites around like no other game on the system, and for that it needs to be commended. But for me, I'm not the biggest shooter fan. I appreciate what it does for the system, and that's kind of what put it at this far into the list. Otherwise, maybe it would have missed the list altogether. I was very tempted to put Astro Warrior though on the list. That's an underrated gem. Really small, simple, early game. Really playable too. But Power Strike's kind of technical wizardry just edged it out in the end, and it managed to get the 16th slot. So here we have another Strike and another shooter. Is this how it's going to be? Well, Desert Strike is nothing like Power Strike. And again, it's another Mega Drive port. And yet again, it's another really good job. It's one of the games I actually grew up with. I picked it up for the princely sum of £13 back in the day. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favourite game, hence why it missed the top 10. But it is a really good effort to bring the game to the 8-bit system. And pretty much everything's intact. You got the levels, you got all the action, the graphics are very clear, well defined, and you can tell what it is you're doing. It nearly doesn't look at a quick glance like there's much cut down. Audio, okay. But yeah, if you've played Power Strike, just shows you the strikes are going through my mind. If you've played Desert Strike on the Mega Drive or the SNES or the Amiga or wherever, you'd be right at home on the Master System. Well, so long as you don't pause that much. The pause, of course, is on the console, which that kind of gives it a bit of a hit. But other than that, all the Desert Strike action is right in place and easily deserves a spot on this list. So, I wanted to put in a 2D scrolling beat-em-up game, Beyond My Hero. Something with a bit more class, shall we say. Not quite so basic. And I was really torn. It was Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, and I went for Renegade. I can't explain why. Streets of Rage has better graphics. Double Dragon, 2-player, more to it. But I just really enjoy Renegade. It's got slightly unusual controls in that one button attacks one direction, the other button attacks the other direction. But it just works when you get used to them. And the gameplay is fun, and it doesn't overstay its welcome really until when you get to the last level and it's a bit of a maze. But I don't know, it kind of sums up the genre really well. And yeah, it just edges out the other games. Very good, and they all deserve to be played. But for me, I just found Renegade that little bit more fun than the others. So in it goes. It's the Ninja. One of the most infamous Master System games going. From the simple name, the Ninja, to the box art, a picture of a ninja. It's basically about a ninja. So it's really just kind of more like your commando, scrolling, shooting game. You got a little kind of nuance to it where as a ninja you can hide and you can be a bit more stealthy, if you will. But it's basically go from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, throwing ninja stars and killing bad guys. Now, to be fair, there is a lot more depth to it when you actually get into it, and it even, for me, I kind of wrote it off to begin with. But no, when you get into it, like each level has a different kind of element. So you maybe having to find certain scrolls, you could be changing the way of scrolling, you could be on water or river, trying to cross, you climb a mountain. Surprisingly complex for its age, and holds up really well. Really addictive when you get past the kind of basic and almost throwaway nature of its presentation. It is a really good game, and one of the first games people should get on the Master System, given how cheap it is. Does it actually come with the Master? Maybe it's just like automatically sell-taped itself to every Master System because it's always in bundles. But to me, that's a great thing. Everyone had it, everyone should try it. It's a great game. The Ninja. Warning. If you are allergic to extreme colours and flashing nonsense and whatnot, look away now, because it is Fantasy Zone on the Master System. And yes, this is what a game would look like, I think, if you gave a 4-year-old child Red Bull and said, go nuts. It's just so colourful, and in a way, I guess you could call it a cute 'em up, because it's a shooter where you, like Defender, you go left, you go right, you shoot a certain number of bases, proceed to a boss, but it's just so colourful. And the music is so happy and catchy and No, it's a great game. Really simple, kind of, again, another one of those pure 80s arcade games, just easy to get into, but great fun. And it always makes me want to come back and have another go. And I usually feel it was my fault that I messed up, which is a great sign, because in a lot of shooters of the day, you kind of feel like it became too bullet hell, or maybe when you get shot and you lose all your power-ups, you don't feel like you can recover. That's not so much an issue here. It's a true classic, and every Sega fanboy and girl should check it out. So, rounding out the first half of this list is the best puzzle game on the system. What can you say about Lemmings? They were everywhere back in the day. Every system had to have them, and the Master System was no exception. But you might think, well, there's a number of powers, there's so many levels, there's all those wee little lemmings. How do you cram that into an 8-bit cart? Well, when you have mega power, you can cram anything into an 8-bit cart. And it's, in fact, it probably wasn't even 4, it was 4 meg. But, kidding aside, they did a great job. Virtually no flickering, 120 levels, all the power-ups, and it plays pretty much perfect. As perfect as can be when you don't have a mouse to click the individual lemming. Starts off so simple, but by God, some of the levels will have you, yes, they will have you doing exactly what I was thinking and not saying. It's a great game and easily my favourite puzzle game on the system. So, that ends part 1 of this top 20 best Master System games of all time in the universe ever. Yeah. Check back next time where we'll go from 10 to number 1. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and all those good things too. Until next time.